At the Salisbury branch of Turning Point, the Wiltshire Substance Misuse Service aims to help people before and after going to rehab for alcohol and drug addiction. Support group sessions include this one, On Track, a morning meeting where service users can gather to have something to eat and talk in a relaxed setting.
So they have an initial assessment and then they will have a one-to-one support worker, and they will recommend which groups are going to be applicable to them and work from there. You know, each case is individual. It could be a dual diagnosis where mental health issues are sort of part of it as well.
Recently, art has played a large role here, including auctioning their creations for charity at the Salisbury Art Centre. Lynn started the art group in May last year and says she's amazed with the impression it's had.
A lot of people have said it's the only time, the 2 hours is the only time they shut off completely and they can express themselves. And you can tell the difference of people when they first come into service to when they're at the end of their time here, and the way they have grown. You can see their journey in pictures, if you like. But they don't. If they're not artistically minded, they can come and do mindfulness colouring or just sketching or anything that they really want to do. I say I don't put any pressure on. I don't put pressure on. I encourage people to try and put things on canvas.
One person here is Dan, who has been coming to Turning Point for the last 4 weeks.
I got myself very ill and was drinking a lot of alcohol. I was on the road. I was virtually homeless, sofa surfing, drinking too much all day. I was on the road sort of via Brighton and London and Sheffield, and ultimately ended up in Salisbury, where I went to A&E, or a friend took me to A&E, and I basically was very close to having a heart attack because of no sleep, no food, loads of alcohol, you know, and after the hospital sorting me out physically, a drug and alcohol counsellor came to see me, and she pointed me in the direction of Turning Point and AA and one or two other services in Salisbury.
With a background in art, Dan says it's helping him overcome his issues.
Before the fall, I was an artist and animation producer in London. You know, I had a fairly high pressure, you know, sort of well-paid job, and this kind of thing can happen to anyone. You know, you don't think it can, but it can. You know, just have a large amount of work stress, you know, some relationship stress, whatever, and before you know it, your life can fall apart. And I think finding somewhere like this, particularly for me as a creative person, you know, it provides me with an opportunity to use my creativity to work through my issues. And that's what everyone's doing here, you know, and many of them aren't artists, but some of the work that's being produced is amazing. And, you know, everyone's on a fantastic, creative, emotional journey of positivity. And so I just think it's an amazing place.
Peer mentor Lynn is a former service user of Turning Point and says she knows all too well what people dealing with substance misuse are going through. She hopes activities like the art group are a way for people to show their creative side and challenge misconceptions about people dealing with addiction.
As a society, we judge people, but never judge a book by its cover, and I never do, because the creative ability of people with any addiction is there waiting to burst out, and we should not judge. If somebody's sitting on the library steps with a can of special brew, don't just, you know, spit at them or anything like that, because you don't know their story. And I think a lot of people, they get a bad press. We get bad press of our clients, but there is good in a lot of people, and we shouldn't judge.
Kara Digby, That's TV.